Welcome to Laguna 69, a trekking gem located just outside of Huaraz, Peru. I visited this vibrant turquoise alpine lake on a 2-day hike through the Cordillera Blanca mountain range. It sits at about 15,000 feet, which is higher than most skydiving drops, so this hike is a real test of how you manage altitude and elevation gain. I love Peru, and this is my 4th time visiting. This whole trip was made possible by Wren and MusicBed. They helped me license music and offset my flight emissions. But first, let's break down how I got to the trailhead and eventually Laguna 69. After black coffee and an everything toasted with cream cheese at Zaro in JFK, I bought the required face mask and made the $500 one-way 9-hour flight from New York City to Lima, Peru. I took a taxi directly from the airport to Plaza Norte bus terminal and took an overnight 8-hour bus ride to Huaraz. Considered to be the hiking and trekking capital of Peru, this high-altitude city sits at about 10,000 feet and is just beautiful. After a few days of getting used to the altitude, I charged batteries, packed up, and booked a 5 a.m. one-way shuttle into the mountains with a trekking agency. On the way, we stopped for a quick breakfast, and I shared a coffee and tea with Dustin, a hiker and subscriber I'd met the day before.
Oh, because they didn't have papaya. Cheers.
The entrance to the park is a massive canyon slot, and we stopped at a laguna to take pictures. I parted ways with the bus group and started off on my own. Okay, welcome back. Hello, back in New York a few days after the trip, and you may notice there's a bed right here. What's that for? Meet the newest member of my family. This is Sasha. She's a 3-month-old mini Aussie, and I love her. Hopefully in the future, a little hiking buddy, but she's still a baby right now. So we're just trying to nail potty breaks. On with the hiking section. This next part is going to break down my entire trip, how I did this hike, and encourage you to visit Peru yourself and hike to see Laguna 69. For this trip, I flew from New York City to Lima, which was about a 9-hour one-way flight. So round trip, it's about 18 hours of flying, which is a lot. And more, personally, I am very aware of my carbon footprint. That's why I'm so happy to be partnering with Wren.co for this project. And I've been using them for a couple months now, helping to calculate my carbon footprint and then offering me solutions and projects to help offset it. Whether it's planting trees or protecting the rainforest, they have a couple different programs that they're using to help offset your carbon footprint. So far, I've personally offset about 6 tons of CO2, and some of that coming from a reoccurring monthly subscription, as well as every time I go on a hiking trip, I'm manually offsetting that flight. So I'd love to encourage you to offset your carbon footprint with Wren, and we actually have a little group for the Craig Adams YouTube channel community. So if you're offsetting, you can just add your name or join there, and we can see collectively how much the entire channel, all of y'all watching these hiking videos, are offsetting with Wren. Once I was in the airport in Lima, I just took about 400 soles out of the ATM. I took a taxi to the Plaza Norte bus terminal. It was about $10 for that ride. They actually asked you to double mask and face shield. Every country is a bit different at this point. And while I was in the bus terminal, another hiker had come up. She said that she was from Switzerland, hiking in the same area, and she was a fan. She watches the videos, so that's nice. If you want to say hi, I love that. I love putting faces to the subscribers, so thank you. The bus ride wasn't overnight. It left at 9 p.m. and I slept most of the way. Woke up to a sunrise in Huaraz. That entire one-way bus ride was about $10, $11. Once in the city, I checked into my favorite place to stay, and the Alps Huaraz. It was about $18 per night, which was cheap. I got my own private room, coffee in the morning, and there were these 2 adorable little kittens just hanging out in the lobby. I pet them every day. But this city is at 10,000 feet, so if you're living at sea level, you're gonna feel that change. And the thing about this trip is I went there intending to do a really big circuit in a different area of the mountain range there. But it turns out with COVID, they weren't really allowing solo travelers. I've been really wanting to hike that Whitewash circuit, and I think I'll just have to go back next year. And the hotel I stayed at had just a wonderful roof. I did a couple workouts up there. I flew the drone whenever I wanted. And just because of the pandemic, there really were not many tourists. The entire town was kind of empty of foreigners. But to get to the trailhead from Huaraz, I took a 2.5-hour 5 a.m., very early, but still fine. I could sleep on the bus, a little shuttle to the Laguna 69 trailhead, and this was about $15 for one way. And that bus ride was through a trekking company, so they took care of the entrance fee and anything associated with just getting to the trailhead in the first place. And driving the bus through the slot canyon at the beginning, it really reminded me of like a Peruvian Yosemite. It was very dramatic and just beautiful going all the way up into this area. The bus stopped at this first lake. We took some photos, and I decided to hop off and just let the bus keep going because I just wanted to walk and drone and just take my time getting up to the actual trailhead here. But you'll notice this massive peak right here. It's the highest in the area, and looking up at this thing is insane. And you can actually see it in the distance of a lot of drone shots and photos from Huaraz all the way back here. And that just shows you how massive this peak is. Like I said, instead of just a day trip up and then back, I decided to do this loop with the hut up here. And I think that was a great idea because this entire second morning, the second day, this route right here was very exposed, ridge-like, and gave me a lot of beautiful views. And the thing about Peru for this time of month, I went in early June. All of the mornings were exceptionally clear. We got a couple overcasts, a few clouds usually at night, but almost every morning it was just crystal clear, views for days, just beautiful sunrises. It wasn't too bad coming up this hill, a lot of elevation in a short amount of time, but I had the entire day to do so. So I took my time and eventually got to Refugio Peru. The stay at this mountain hut, the dinner, the breakfast was $25 in total, and totally worth it. I loved it up here. Amazing views. A couple times I heard loud noises and looked up at this mountain and saw little avalanches in the distance, and the mountain's massive, so the avalanche, the snow is falling, but it's going so slow, so far in the distance. It shows you the scale of what we're looking at here. So spending the night at this hut, I was at 15,000 feet, which is even higher than the highest point in the lower 48 states. My last video, summiting Mount Whitney in California, I was sleeping higher than that peak, so that it's very high, and I definitely had some kind of altitude sickness a little bit. Just had to take it easy, took some Advil. I felt fine in the morning. I woke up early, made my way out after a quick breakfast, and then summited this pass. It was about 16,000 feet, which is the highest I've ever been.
Aha!
Yeah, I think it is the highest I've ever been hiking, and I was feeling it.
16,000 feet, really feeling it. Alright, we're almost to the top though of this pass. And then Laguna 69. Hey.
I was going very slow on the inclines, but eventually made this pass and saw the lake. It was great coming down to the lake instead of just always coming up. That's why I think this circuit route is totally worth it if you want to do Laguna 69. Just add on another half day and you get amazing views. And if you wake up early and reach the Laguna in the morning, it'll be before most of the people get there in the afternoon. After spending plenty of time taking a little nap and just resting at the turquoise blue water shore, I eventually made my way down back to the point where I started at the trailhead, hopped on a bus, just paid someone like $10 or $12 to take me back to Huaraz, and that was that. Oh, and I forgot, Freddie and Sammy were the two guys that I met in the mountain hut, the only two people spending the night there with me. Technically, they got up at midnight and summited this mountain right here. So by the time I was waking up and starting my way over to this pass, they were at the summit, which is crazy. So kudos to you guys. And Sammy beat me at chess twice. He demolished me, so... Once back in New York City, I started editing my video in Final Cut 10. Took me about 2 days, and I picked all of my songs using musicbed.com. It is the best place to get music for your videos. It's where I score all of my hiking videos with instrumentals, ambient, cinematic, classical. Those are the categories I usually sift through. They're frequently adding new songs all the time. I'm very happy using their music. I started off the edit with a nice cinematic Dexter Britain song and then mellowed out with a more ambient Cardamom Evening. Brought it back with a nice piano Inside of Me by Jesse Brown. First discovered Jesse Brown with this video and then discovered so many other good ambient piano music pieces. So I used his cycling piece to finish out, and I'm really happy with the way the music for this video turned out. So MusicBed also helped sponsor this video. Thank you so much, MusicBed, for continuing to help me make more videos and go on more trips. So if you want to use code Kraig at checkout for your first month free with an annual individual subscription, feel free. There is a link in the description down below. Thank you, MusicBed. Thank you for helping me score my films and make more videos. I shot this video on the Sony a7S Mark III with a 16-35 f4 lens. I'm using the smaller one and not the f2.8 2.8. For drone footage, I used the brand new DJI Mavic Air 2S. I believe that's what they call it. There's so many drones, so many names, it's hard to keep track. I was very happy with the footage all around. I didn't do any color correction or grading. Pretty much everything you see in the video is as is. That's just how I like to shoot. I posted 2 whole carousels of photos that I took on the trip and the hike on Instagram, so feel free to check that out and follow me there. I plan on streaming on this YouTube channel a live Q&A. Any questions that you have about this trip, the filmmaking process, the hiking, or if you're just down to hang, I'm going to be going live, so make sure to be a subscriber and have notifications on to be alerted when that happens. But I'm just happy to be out there hiking, making videos, doing what I love. Back here in New York City, it's summer. I've got a puppy, walking around, drinking coffee, going to parks, just hanging out. Life is good. I feel great. Between my hiking trips, I like to stream games on Twitch, so I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect, Apex Legends, and Factorio. Probably gonna try some other games. Satisfactory, yeah, I might try that one. But come hang out, twitch.tv/CraigAdams. I've been doing occasional interviews with other creators on the podcast channel. I'm posting a lot of that content to YouTube as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and I've actually been recording footage for just a good old-fashioned vlog. Camera in hand everywhere I go. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've made one of those types of videos. I'm probably going to upload it to the main channel. And yeah, I'm chill, dude. But all I know is you should expect a lot of puppy photos and videos coming soon. She's like sleeping right here. She's so adorable. Oh, the big flop. Okay. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care.